Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadiel, Kabiro. I'm glad to be part of these political conversations. Conversations that are usually simple, truthful, unbiased. Prof puts them as hard-hitting. Obviously, I'm joined by him, founder and director, president, Nairobi Review. He's a political analyst, strategist, university lecturer. You're earning a lot from these posts, Prof.
Nothing.
Yeah?
I'm a simple Kenyan who owns nothing.
Yeah. That's it for you.
That's it. When people say I'm G what, I'm deep state, I'm Azimio, and I'm a poor Kenyan, I don't understand what they mean.
With all these assets that you have.
Which asset? I don't have an asset.
You have a company, Nairobi Review.
This is a Juakali company.
Let's get into a conversation for today. It's all about zoning and consensus within Azimio. But before we talk about that, Raila came out again refuting claims that he plans to ban Mitumba the day before yesterday. Was this a good move by him? Because talk of town was Raila will finish the Mitumba industry.
But you know I have said that is cheap talk. If you are saying we want to have Kenyan-made cloth to replace Mitumba, surely you cannot grow cotton in one day. You cannot set up and establish the industries in 2 months. The process will begin with sheep rearing, promoting sheep rearing in Limuru and the rest, reviving cotton farming, new variety seeds, new farming methods, talking to farmers to avail land. Those who had stopped cotton farming, please, you had 10 acres, bring back at least 5. You need research, you need survey. By the time you have sufficient cotton to move the industry, my friend, if you had banned Mitumba, people will be walking naked. You think Raila is that foolish?
The question is, was it that injurious to him, that conversation of
it was bad because people took it and twisted it.
Yeah.
He didn't say, nor did you say we are banning Mitumba. But he said, people selling clothes will be selling new clothes and making money. People putting on Mitumba will be putting on new clothes, good quality, and they will be happy, affordable. So why would you waste your time waiting for Mitumbas to come when you can do business using new clothes, in new clothes? Why? That's what he meant.
Now looking at it, I'm asking, was the damage that bad for him? Because he had to go meet the Mitumbas.
There was serious damage. Those guys, you see, the other side, whenever you give them a small thing, they run away with it. You realize that, eh?
Yeah.
That Raila can be given something by Ruto. He doesn't take it and run away with it. You give Ruto half a chance, his people run away with it.
Do you think there are instances Ruto has blundered and Raila would have made political mileage?
Many instances they have not been able to capitalize. Yeah.
They need to work on that.
Yeah, they need to work on that. They don't run away with the narratives. Give Ruto half a chance and he runs away with it. So this Mitumba thing, they did make good use of it. So Raila is trying to do damage control and he's doing it well.
Right now, there are big headache in the Azimio coalition. On Friday, they made an agreement to talk to these weak candidates within different regions, have a consensus with them so that they emerge on top. But some would want to know, ODM is usually the dominant party. If this happens the way they're planning for it to happen, it's like those smaller parties would be demeaned. Would you read from the same script for you?
Yeah, it's a very difficult kind of engagement. Telling people to step down for others, it's not a simple matter. First of all, there is a truth, a very objective truth, that you could be wrong in terms of who is popular. Okay? So you are basing on some maybe opinion poll and saying Simon is more popular than Jad. That itself could be wrong, number one. But number two, even those who are not doing well have a problem accepting they are not doing well. This is politics. Even a guy who will get 200 votes when others are getting 50,000, if you told him, he says he's winning. Everybody thinks they're winning. That's where But another elephant that can't fit even in the room is the fact that Kenyan elections are very expensive. You can't just jump into the game the way Uganda did in Nairobi. You come from far and you spend money. The law requires people to resign. Some people have resigned from their jobs, public servants. They are supposed to have done that by, I think, February. So look here, you spend money, you resign from your job, and then somebody comes here and tells you, please, So there are challenges.
I'm asking about ODM because it's the dominant party.
No, that I get
Azimio.
you. I was going to come there.
Yeah.
That is just another problem. The problem again is a problem of reality. When the reality is that if you go in that direction, many of the people who will be left to run will be ODM.
Yeah.
Because it is a dominant party. It is the party that then attracts the best in an area where Azimio is strong, apart from Mount Kenya. So in most of those regions, it will be ODM that will be dominant. It will be ODM that will be having the most attractive, the most sellable. So by the time you compromise on women rep, you go to senator, you get to governor, you find it is ODM, ODM, ODM. Even before you go down to MPs in a county. Then you realize it is just like saying it is, let's leave everything to ODM. But that will be the truth of the matter. That is ODM that is dominant. So those are some of the things, those are the 4 challenges you deal with.
Are multiple parties within a coalition too injurious to a candidate? Because some would argue, if a candidate is strong, he's strong. The votes will not be split. If he's strong, he's strong.
It depends. There are places where there are 4 candidates running. The first 2 or 3 are from the same coalition. Say, there's a DAP candidate, ranked number 1. There's an ODM candidate, ranked number 2. There's a Jubilee candidate, ranked number 3. UDA is coming number 4. You don't even need to bother. Whoever wins will be Azimio. There are cases like those. There are also cases where somebody is so obviously the front runner, even these others can see. But then there are also places where it's not easy to establish. Now, there are those instances where if you tamper with the ground, you tamper with the presidential vote.
Yeah.
So again, you must be very careful. As you tell people to step down and for others, you must be mindful of the presidential vote. In some areas, that could spell doom to the presidential candidate.
In what way?
Yeah.
In what way would it spell doom?
Some people can get annoyed. Some of the areas are very clan-based or regional. Some people say, this was our time. These guys of that ridge or of that clan or on that side of the road have been ruling us for the last 15 years. This was our time. So now you think they'll still, you are favoring a guy from there. They go to UDA. They vote for Ruto. So it's been very careful.
So the biggest problem...
The same would happen to Ruto also. Yeah.
Some argue that there will be voter apathy if Raila takes this route.
Yeah, if you
can you deal with that?
Yes, there's another problem. If people, sometimes the more candidates, the better. They excite the crowd. They excite the crowd as they look for their own votes. MCA, the many MCAs from same coalition, from different parties, the many MP candidates, the many women rep candidates and senator, the more the merrier. Because they excite the crowd and the turnout is high, and then the presidential candidate in that area, if it is his area, benefits. And therefore I'm saying it's not a simple matter.
Not at all?
No, it's not simple.
Which route should they have followed? Some would have wondered why they did not go with the zoning for political parties and come now to speak to the aspirants. Should they have stuck with zoning, say this area is Jubilee, this area...
That was dangerous. It was a time when people could still jump. When people could still go to the other parties or become independent. It was very dangerous.
So they were holding...
So they tried. All parties tried. I mean, all parties, They tried to do zoning. And they did a bit of it. They negotiated. You saw UDA negotiating Khalwale,
Malala.
Sakaja. They tried. And ODM started. They tried here and there.
Bahati crying in Magari.
Bahati. But the bulk of it, they pended until now. First of all, nobody can jump now. Secondly, if you are honest with yourself, by now you should be able to know whether you are winning or not. So people can tell you, please, you can see where we are going. Both of you will lose. Why don't you stand down for so-and-so? Because he's ahead of you and you can see it. Even you yourself, commission an opinion poll. So it is not easy. This game, yet, if you don't try to do something about it, you lose certain very obvious seats. They will go away with UDA if you are Azimio. And
it's still happening with UDA.
Yes, even UDA. If you don't handle some of those issues, you'll see Azimio running away with what was actually your seat. You see it going, yo inaenda.
The biggest problem is usually fallout.
Yes.
Fallout within these parties.
Yes.
Some say, stay with your coalition, I'm going to Kenya Kwanza. You are a think tank. You say you can think for these people sometimes. Yes. How would you deal with this fallout? If
I think they should pay me, then I'll do it for them. If they pay me, I can think for them. Together with other Kenyans. We can sit down and think for them.
It's not that simple.
You know, there are two things about this. One, dealing with the people in a realistic way. Bearing in mind the things I've said in terms of costs, in terms of expectations, in terms of followers' expectations, and so on and so forth, in terms of regional and clan interests. So that is calls for very serious thinking. So talking to people is very important. Secondly, being able to kind of compensate people in some small way.
Okay.
Yeah. To understand that people have spent their money. Now, that's where the danger comes in. There is a side of the divide that doesn't seem to want to use money.
Which side?
There's a side, we both know it.
They don't want to use money. Let me just say it, it's Azimio. They don't want to use money. People say, Ruto was saying they are stingy. Raila is stingy.
Very stingy. That can eat them. So if somebody has, there are people, they just say, I've spent 20 million. You know they're exaggerating, of course. You can negotiate them down to 12 million and give them.
Oh.
Yeah. If you have.
You pay out people.
If somebody is going to mess your seat and they are saying they have spent some money, unless you are violating the law, I don't know about the law. If there's no law you are violating and you have money, so you can negotiate for a figure. If they say 20, you tell them, no, this is 5. Take 5 and go home.
And they give you a job.
These jobs were there. You cannot give everybody a job. They are promising everybody a job. It is easier said than done.
There are no jobs.
Some people don't even qualify for any job.
Look, and they are running and they want jobs. But look at this, UDA and ODM have been advocating for 6-piece voting formula when it comes to their supporters. Will this happen this time round? People going to the ballot booth and just going ODM, 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 or are people more likely to vote based on
It depends. Things? It depends on the area, first of all. If it's a strong ODM zone, you don't even need to tell people. They will simply vote 6-piece. You don't need to tell them. It's obvious. If you are not in ODM in Luo Nyanza, you're winning unless you are a Kidero. Or that friend of mine from Ugenya.
Is there a possibility for Kidero, though?
Yeah, strong possibility.
Without ODM?
Without ODM.
So there are places...
He's not saying anything bad against Raila or ODM or Azimio. He's very clever. He could win. But many people would wish Gladys wins. Even the party, even Raila, I think.
So there are places...
But Kidero stands a chance. But how many Kideros do you have in Nyanza? How many Keter, Charles Keter, not Charles, the other Keter, what's it, Alfred Keter in Nandi? How many of them will you have in Ruto Stronghold? They can just be 1 or 2 who can go independent and still win. So the 3-piece is, in some areas, it is obvious. 6-piece is obvious.
Okay.
In some areas, you try, but you may fail. People can give you everybody except the MCA. People can give you everybody except the MP. People are not what they used to be. People are changing also.
But what will this mean for this consensus if in Luo Nyanza it's ODM and then they come up with a consensus and another party has taken it? What will this mean when it comes to voting? Does this mean that they might lose a seat because of a party that's on the paper?
If you put a bad party, a party that doesn't resonate with people so well, it could also have a bearing. But the reason why you'll be choosing that person will be that you have seen is the most popular. But if you are practicing what is called fairness, we have given ODM, here ODM, now let's give it to DAP. If you are going like that, you lose.
Ain't fairness in politics?
No. You just look at the reality on the ground and say, okay, even if everybody will be for ODM, so long as we win, convince the others. And this is where sometimes Raila fails. After the 2017 elections, there was a small issue of political parties fund for ANC, Ford Kenya, and Wiper. They didn't deserve.
They didn't?
No, they didn't deserve. I've read the agreement. I've read everything. I know the law about political parties fund. They didn't deserve. But these are your partners, are your friends. Just share. Ex gratia, just share.
Even if they don't?
Yeah, that's what politics is about. You share. Call them and say, look, They have not counted the presidential vote, which was the basis for dishing how much money you get from the political parties fund. Because they didn't count the August one. We didn't participate in the repeat. So that has dented our fund.
Okay.
But the little there is here, how do we share it? Tell them, suggest.
Talk.
Yes, this is little money to Raila. What is 200, 300 million? Hii ni pesa kidogo.
But you say it's not usually
Unaweza hata kuwapatia nyinyi watu wadogo kuleni hii. Keep them on your side.
What is...
Raila is a lucky man, I'm telling you. I don't know what... Raila is a lucky man. Without doing anything, people just like him. Even with all these blunders, people just still follow him. I think he's a lucky
Will
guy.
he have a majority in the Senate in the members of Parliament, Raila?
Raila will have a majority governors, will have a majority senators. That I know. MPs. If you count the counties, you begin with the 10 Mount Kenya counties. Azimio loses almost all of them. They go to UDA. Then you go to Rift Valley and Ruto starts with 6 automatic. He could add another 3 or 4. That's just the farthest he can go. Then you go to Western, he may get Bungoma, not may. Will get Bungoma. Weta the 5th. The rest of that region.
But Weta is for Kenya.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the other side.
Yeah.
So I'm counting Rutos.
For coalition.
So Rutos, they don't get to 20. They're about 17. You can't go beyond 17. However hard you crack the numbers. But for members, although I have seen even in Western, Azimio is a little relaxed. They need to tighten the belt to get all the governors and all the senators except for Bungoma perhaps. Those seats are for Azimio to lose. And I'm not seeing that much effort they are put in to ensure they don't lose. But the important house is Parliament itself. Parliament, I have not taken a keen look to know. I've looked at the counties and Azimio has comfortable majority for governors and senators. This other house, I have not taken a keen interest. But remember, long before it was too late, I said, and I addressed myself to Raila and told him, you are not doing enough. Scouting for talent. That is the next phase. You look for talent, because I said somebody is going to be impeached sooner than later. We just hear of presidential impeachment. It will happen in this country. If not Raila, the next president. It's going to be a common thing in this country. So you need quality legislators. So you come and look for Manyora and say, Manyora, I know you have no intention of running, but we need somebody like you in Parliament. We are going to give you a safe seat. Come to Nairobi, we are giving you Langata. That's our seat, is safe. We'll campaign for you. That's how it is done in other countries, where parties scout for talent. We are dragging behind. So I said Raila should have done that because he needs quality debaters in Parliament. You get it? Yeah. Secondly, there are areas where you know you can win if you give people a good candidate. So you go and look for a good candidate and give people. That good candidate may not have stood because they have balanced things and say, hey, no, I can't resign from my job to go into politics and I don't have even money to sustain myself. You know, it's one thing to win. The other thing to sustain yourself in politics. It's more difficult remaining an MP than winning the seat. Yeah. You need resources in Kenyan politics.
Oh, so when you're an MP, you get all these funds.
You may not even go home. You wake up at 6 in the morning and there's a crowd at home.
That's Kenya.
Yes, that's Kenya. We will get away from there, but we are still there. We are doing improvement in that area. So what I'm saying is, if Raila did not get the numbers he needs to get in Parliament, he will have himself to blame. I didn't see them going out of their way. Look, for example, let me give a very good example. Before Tim Wanyonyi came back to Westland, was ODM going to win that seat?
He had
taken it. The only lucky team came back. The people they had fronted, they are my friends. They're useless people, they can't beat Havi. Why didn't they look for somebody? Say Manyora, kuja hapa Westland, chukua hii kiti. I'm not talking of Manyora. Somebody like me and better. And they are there. Even Kisia wanted. But the shenanigans in the nominations, he could not survive. So you just tell people, this is Philip Kisia, we know him, he was town clerk, he has done a good job, he's a clean person, he's one of you, give him your votes. And the party has given him a direct ticket for this and this reason. Then he will beat Harvey. But if Tim didn't come back, that man called Mike, he could have been whitewashed by Harvey.
It's all about the brains.
Those are the things I'm now saying. I have not taken a keen look about the House, the National Assembly,
yes,
how Raila may perform. But if he underperforms, he has himself to blame.
I think this is a good place to wrap up the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. But until we do have these conversations again, remember to subscribe. Let's get to 100,000 before the month ends.
100,000.
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
Because we will celebrate. What do they give?
They give a silver button.
A button. It's not money.
Yeah.
Please help us get to 100,000. It's not about money. Just we here, we shall sing a song. Even those of us who don't know how to sing, we dance a bit.
And invite a couple of you to
and
come
we
help
thank
us.
our subscribers, our viewers, and you just feel great.
Yeah.
Men get happy over a very small thing. Please allow us to get happy over just 100,000 subscribers. You say it's a button.
It's a button. It's a silver button.
Yes,
and
please.
And you know, the good things about getting to 100K is that your videos get easily recommended to other people. So if you like this conversation, other people can be able to reach, to know we are here and we have these conversations.
Please, if you haven't subscribed, press that red button, subscribe, help us to get to 100,000 and beyond. If you have subscribed and you know of a friend who has not subscribed, please ask them to subscribe, so that we may continue having this conversation.
Yep. Until we do have these conversations again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.